balaa nga xalaat yokkal salary koo xam ne mu ngi aan 200,000 balaa nga xalaat sax pour yokkal kooku salary waaye sa yaram daw nga xalaat kale di am 3,000. See, that is the difference between the Barrow government and a possible Essa Faal government. Bunyu yalla drinking good, we would change these things. Xam nga ñeneen ñi dañ daan wax ne Essa Faal dafa resign ci RRC te liggéey bi jeexut. But that is not true. Man bi ma resign liggéey bi jeexoon na man pare naa ba commission bi yëpp signal nañ ma all the reports ne ma pare nga. Suma ngor ak suma jom ak suma bugga Gambia. Allahuma ma toog foofu one day di continue di receive salary boo xam ne deserve ma ko. Munoon naa toog continue di receive 100,000 ba ba gars yi di submit reports yi. Te soo ko seetee maa ngi jógee August ñoom kañ lañ joxe reports yi foog naa ay February ndax March I don't know. So man period boobu yi munoon naa faa nekk duma taxaw elections may receive kon suma ngor moo ma ko may jub dafa important so looloo tax may wax ne we have to be fair to our country képp ku ci nekk su fair ak dëkkam rek situation bi dina. I hope I have answered your question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Essa Mbye Faal. Jub dafa am solo te loolu mooy dëgga. Waaw. Léegi ñu may ñëw mi farms kale moom drop na Saja ñëw mi farms nga ubbi sa mic bi you have one question and then
one second okay aji li may wax gars yi xaar na dañ ni bi patient ak Mr. President dafa am lum doon élaborer rek mu jël some time but bu ñu yàkkamte ñu may ko time ñoom ñëpp danañ am seen chance pour laaj question okay go ahead.
Thank you. See you kon ñëwal ñëw mi mu ne yaa ko fi jiitu kon ñëwal.
All right, thank you very much. Jërëjëf baa ngi nuyu panélistes yëpp baa ngi nuyu Honorable Essa Mbye Faal maa ngi laa nuyu bu baax man nag xam naa la bu baax because man Kanifing South laa dëkkoon time boobu maa ngi dem hotel school so dama naan ñëw si seen kër foofu noonu you know I learned a lot from you actually dañ daan am small debates bi nga ma you know jàngal yu bëri bëri man frère kii laa woon naga Alaaji Faal suma xarit la woon si moom laa daan ñëw and really, so what fee is very important for the first time. This is the second time actually. I'm on a time. I think I'm on interview with West Coast. Very important topics of our meet. My question is: so first 100 days in power. What are the 5 most important things Langa Njeka def lo hamne dina am effect on the Gambian people? Thank you.
The first one, really, these are important questions. And thank you very much, my brother. Your Hamgama. So yeah, I am happy Kuma Ham Tigi, your nature platform. What important question, Galach? Off the cuff, the first thing Manduma def, moy cut the waste. Cut the waste because waste is very important. One and a half, a lot of wastage will happen to good. First, the executive order change the format of meet the people store. Muneka a veritable meeting with the people instead of Muneka a political activity and National Mumbai Festival. And that money, we can use it to help the Gambian people. Another thing Lumadef, in cutting the waste, we make sure government assets are used for government activities. soo bàyyee xel moto nguur gi daw yépp 80% bi soxla jàmbur la ñoo daw dawuñ soxla nguur gi. So that is also waste. Another thing lu ma def mooy increase transparency in government. Make sure that the laws are fully implemented. Because a lot of the time we have a lot of laws that are so implemented the laws, the enhanced transparency, corruption will go down. Understand? And these things are important. Hanga by the time the government comes into power, the far fake budget be approved the year before. Approved the year before. Parce que ñun suñu yàlla dimbalee ñu win, we take office in January 2027. But by September, October 2026, for now the budget would have already been prepared for the next year. So there isn't much you can do with that. Understand? You just have to go with, but we would be ready to go with special provisions so you help you make drastic changes. Understand? To reorient government approaches. The next thing that we would do is try to reduce the cost of living through subsidies and through investments. Understand? I noticed at amna time Gambia government put a tariff on importation on certain things, like onions and so forth. They should have thought about this a long time ago. But you would look at things and see what we can do to reduce the cost of living, considering we are already constrained because there was already a budget in the previous year. But our primary thing is to change the misplaced priorities and focus on the things that are important for government and not focus on things that glorify the individuals in government. Understand? Imaginal budgets you have, you inbuilt tuki yu bari pour yekal nit xaalis. All those things we are going to cut them. We are going to establish within office of the vice president. Nga xamne every tuki would have to have a cost benefit analysis. So suñ checké the cost benefit analysis ñu gis ne li dina benefit nguur gi den tuki bi am. Su benefit nguur gi tuki bobu du am. So it's no longer about kañul yekalante tuki. It's about tuki bi ban njëriñ la amal nguur gi. So we have to get our priorities right. So there are lots and lots of things we can do in the first 100 days. Bul fatene, Gambia government, we have lots of ghost workers. Nguur gi ñoo fi toogoon wax ne ñaata was it 3,400 ghost workers amon? About $13 million la cost nguur gi. Well, we would do a staff audit. First 100 days, pour ham truly who are the real staff of Gambia government. Dinañ def tam a proper civil service audit pour ham liggéey yi nekk ci service bi yan façon yi liggéey la ban njëriñ la amal nguur gi ak lan lañ mëna change. We have to reorganize government. All these things can happen in the first 100 days. We will reassess in diplomatic representation to see lan moy njëriñi Gambia. Ñun sa fan la suñ touriste yi day jóge ndax sa foofu am nañ fa offices xam nga ne Gambia léegi a lot of the tourists come from Netherlands. Netherlands amuñ fa representation is being covered from Brussels. Man nekk naa fa 20-something years. Musuma gis a Gambia government representative from Brussels ñëw Netherlands. I have never seen it. So Mota, we have to really put our money where our mouth is. Then you pour get government functions to work for government. So Lolo, these are all changes you have on the days. But fundamentally, we want to build a just and fair society. So re-evaluation of salaries, the power up. To reduce the gap between those at the top and those at the bottom. You put in place a minimum wage. That is necessary. Re-education of the Gambian people. That's absolutely necessary. So lolo tax ñun dañ buga def. Let me say it now. Guide dinañ ko jema copy nak. But ñun we want to bring compulsory national service for all Gambians between 25 and 17 years. We have to reorient their thinking. We have to change the way they perceive their relationship with the state and with each other. Then we inbuild patriotism so they think, breathe, eat, drink, and do everything Gambia. We have to make sure that every Gambian within that age bracket has a skill. For 10, 15, 20 years, the Gambia have changed fundamentally and radically. For the first time, we will have Gambians ñoo xamne ku ci nekk am nga loo wax ne yow loola nga ku ci ne am nga loo mun su ko defee ñu des ci dëkk bi am luñ def ku bugg a génn it nga génn ak sa métier su ko defee képp ku génn doo torox soo gisee Gambien si ñuy leen dee deport di leen indi it's because ñu ci bari amuñ skill loolu so ñun there is a lot that we can do. This is the building era for our country. New sanity in government. New insanity in government. You build a proper marché. Imaginal, foy jaye leka kany hana waruta tilim waruta am waruta hesaw. Demal ci marché yi Gambia and what I'm talking about. So we have to change. When we were kids growing up, Department of Public Health dañ daan inspect kër yi seet ndax kër yi set nañ ndax kër yi raxas nañ ci marché yi ñu wër seet ndax marché yi set nañ fi mu nekk loolu yëpp amatu. We have to change. Change nag comes with organization. We will be organized bu soobee Yàlla. APP Sobeyaa government du nekk government lamba daj nguuri xam-xam laa doon képp ku fa am place da nga am xam-xam boo mun a yóbboo place biñ la jox so lii mooy mbir we have to change and we will bring the necessary changes. Some would be painful waaye naxante rek def ndanka until the change we want happens ba nga xam ne Gambien fuñ ko dégga ci àddina bi nit ñi dinañ ko naw parce que xam nañ ne kii de am na lum àndal either ànd naa xam-xam or ànd I hope that answers your question. Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you. Nyomi Farms, yow si ñun ka bokka. You're next. Why Diva daf doon wax ne pour ñu may ko rek quickly. Dafa am lu if you would allow us.
Yeah, in the land man Nanjai, I need Nanjai up here. So fake am na chance. Kawanda dafa am private. Why man ko gis mu ngi ci waiting list bi.
A lot of people waiting.
Wa may ma rek ma wax mas ma waxe ma daanu ma gàtt na dem nga indi ko.
Wa di ba ñawal.
Assalamu alaikum yéen ñëpp. Good day, good afternoon. Ma leen nuyu yéen ñëpp. And thank you all of you guys for having this platform today for people like me to come in and ask our questions. Man nak xawma Essa Faal. Waaye suma tanta bu nekk fi di Awa, she's trying her best to let me know who he is, and this platform here today is helping so answers you and dive into your life, di wax who you are. It's opening my mind and hopefully my heart, inshallah. But man lu ma bëgg a laajte mooy what is your plan for Gambia, your policies and what are your plans for the education system in Gambia? Ndax Gambia, is it possible from elementary to high school, 12th grade, to have free education? Is that possible that Gambia can have that in our country or not? And what are you going to do with the youths? The youths in our country needs people to listen to them and help them in have a better future, because soon youth, they are very talented, mashallah, very talented, but then amut window be or door be to go to Hamlet can help them. So how can you work with the youths? Ibisen Mindy, accent Holly, when you they can do something in the Gambia and not have to leave the country, and to get a better education for the people in our country, starting from elementary school, nursing school, starting from nursing school to high school. I'm free education, because every child in Africa, in Gambia, can have a good education and left no child behind. That's my question. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And my dear, feel free. So I contact us directly to get to know me better. It's worth it. And I am available always to anyone who calls. But that aside, I recognize two questions. One is education and the other is Gambian youths. Gambian youths, I have spoken extensively about them now, earlier on rather. We want to invest about $50 million annually on Gambian youth and so on. And yes, we agree with you, Gambian youths are not linked. Gambian youth, they just lack opportunities. We want to create those opportunities for Gambian youths. So Lolo, that $50 million every year, we would make sure that the Gambian youths have the right training that they need to be able to navigate the demands of the 21st century. That is our objective. So the two issues are very much intertwined. One, I think our education in Gambia is not fit for purpose. We are taught to read and write and calculate and count money and bags of rice and bags of groundnuts, but we are not taught to solve problems. That is something I want to change. But your question was more about the cost of education. The cost of education in Gambia is very high, but we have to separate the two, public schools and private schools. Education was supposed to be free in Gambia. But most people don't take that, well, in the urban area at least, most people don't take to public schools. They take them to private schools. Public schools are now basically almost adopted. If you want your child to do well, go in a private school. Why during our time, public schools were schools to go to, because there is not enough investment in public schools. Private schools overtake land. And nobody, they want the best education for them. So they take them to private schools. They can amna schools so as much as $190,000 a child. That is excessive. We want to make education accessible to all, and we would want to reduce the cost of education. If we are able to, education would be free and genuinely free. Especially with this day and age of this digital age, education should be cheaper. So we would find ways to make sure that we reduce the cost of education. The other thing I want to do is make sure that we give Gambians the right kind of education. people think that going to university and wearing ties to go to work is the it thing. No, that's not it. Man, I want to invest mainly in technical education. I want to invest in what Gambia needs today to build our country. That is what our education is going to be. But more fundamentally, you see, from the age, between the ages of 17 and a completely different environment. We want to invest in technical education, technical skills. So we have to have the youth institutions, we have to have the TVET institution, right? But all Gambians within that age bracket would have to go through compulsory service. And that during that compulsory service, we teach you to love your country, teach you to be private, to be patriotic. We also give you a path to get a skill or a profession. And you follow those paths and get the right training. And after a given number of years, once we have the critical mass to be able to service the country, nobody would be allowed to practice a particular profession or a trade if you do not have the national certificate. And that way we eliminate foreigners, that way we eliminate the unskilled, and that way we enforce standardization in service. Just imagine, for the same amount of blocks, for the same amount of cement, and the same amount of water fee, just Gambia di mu tabax fan tax bu Sénégalais bi di war a gën a correct o di war a gën a dëgër o bu gën a rafet bu Gambien bi is because of the ñàkk skill. There are some Gambians suñ tabaxee nga waaru, but there are lots others suñ tabaxee tam nga jooy. So we want to change that. We want to bring standards. And standards in income amé moy ñom ñep ñu am the same kind of training, have the same level of skill, so could that way we change our country. I am telling you, we can do it. So thank you very much. I hope I have answered your question. Next one.
Thank you, Honorable moderators. Please, there are people that have been waiting for a long time. Ñeneen ñi ñu ngi Gambia and they're using their credit. So Nanyan, please follow the queue the way they send their request, please. All right, Nyomi Fam.
They are already Sobeyaa members because we're giving other people chance to have concern about APP Sobeyaa, especially Essa Mbye Faal. Today they got the chance to ask questions. So if you APP Sobeyaa, you might want to listen downstairs and allow the other people that have concern and couple of questions to ask. Thank you.
Wow, lol degala man mun ngeen ma wacce ma téye ci tapping bi. Ñu ekkati live bi wacce leen ma rek please. Ma ekkati live bi. Man déglu. Man déglu moma.
Yeah, you organize for to exercise democracy.
Because I'm going to platform APP Sobeyaa bëgguñu dugal ñeneen ñi. Everybody is free to ask any question as far as it is based on respect. Point blank period.
Thank you. Open your mic, please.
Mansa dama recline because I'm not opportunity and privileged to get to Essa whenever I want. So I will give others opportunity.
Thank you. Bullet points. You're next. Can you please open your mic? Bullet point, you have 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Gone. We don't have time. Nyang Jai, please come in. Thank you.
Mr. Faal, I've been keenly listening to what you have to offer, and especially being our issues of salaries, budgeting. I think it's a step in the right direction. And whilst I was listening, my major what I was just trying to take away with it was coherence and applicability or feasibility. And I must say that most of what you said within that range of issues dealing with fiscal issues, I must say I've recognized coherence, and I've also recognized the feasibility, because sometimes nit munna wadara, it becomes a castle in the air. But I think there is great chances some of the recommendations you said are feasible and they're doable. Thank you. It was just something I observed.
Thank you so much. Well, you see, Nyang, you guys are the experts in this. I'm just talking from my heart and from my general knowledge of how government works. My training on legislative draftsman, so I have to know these things. But the thing is, I don't necessarily have to be a guru in the for everything, we would have real and veritable expertise. Ñoo xam ne seen xam-xam in that area is unquestionable and perhaps unparalleled. One Gambia's best and brightest demand the relevant areas. So gisee nguur dox du yëfi kenn nit yëfi team la. Man, I want to bring the best Gambia has to offer pour ñu ñëw liggéeyal réew. Santa Yàlla, man suma party, they are not limiting me. Parce que man bokk naa rek maa ngi ci kaw rek foo suñ winee rek dama am pour am ministerial job or dama am pour am job. That's not the way we function. Man, I have carte blanche, be able to put together the best possible government for Gambia. And to do that, I want to tap from all demographics. I want to make sure Gambia has the best advice available in whatever decision it takes. And Chilolo, Arena, Pursa, in certain areas, create advisory groups in the diaspora. We tap into their experience to help us, especially also in the medical field. You know, we want to bring in all these things like teleconsulting and so forth. And we will benefit from the best that Gambia has to offer. So people like you, Nyang, you have extensive experiences in budgeting. You have extensive experience in some of these about the financial issues for government. Our biggest problem, really, more resource mobilization for government. People like you have experiences in that, and we would not close our doors to Gambians with skill and knowledge. We want to open our doors for them to come. I want to inundate government with brain power. Lolo rek mo ñoo génnee ci fi ñu nekk nii. It's knowledge moo ñoo génne fi ñu nekk nii. Moo tax kuy wax ne xam-xam important ci government loolu li nga wax xamuloo ko. Ñun we want a government that have a strong brain power boo xam ne intelligence, knowledge moom la ñoo use to solve problems. It's not lambadaj. It's not jiital koo xam ne xamut la moo def. It's not squared pegs in round holes. We want to have experts in every single area. Ba nga xam ne suñ amee the right advice, we can make the best decision possible under the circumstances. So thank you very much. Moderator.
Thank you, Nyanjai. The next person is Boy Bathos. Please, ubbil sa mic bi, and you have
yes,
one.
Bala next person bi di ñëw dama bëgg ñu control platform bi based on Aji Awa dama bëgg nga control ci kaw Mrs. Doctor bëgg naa nga control ma ci suuf ci li nga xam ne moom mooy gesi because bëgguma nit ñi foog ne bias dañoo pick and choose, you know, te sometimes am awee Aji Awa tamit mënta def yëpp, you know. Mrs. Doctor, please control ma ci suuf. Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
maa ngi leen di nuyu yéen ñëpp seen tur seen sant di nuyu suma waaju baax jooju di honorable Essa Mbye Faal di leen wax ne li ngeen def am na solo trop seen waxtaan bi nekk na waxtaan bu boo xam ne macha allah ku ko fi dégg dina xam ne li ngeen fi wax yëpp am na solo te Gambia ngeen teg ca kanam benn question rek laa amoon pour Essa Mbye Faal mooy ñun ñi nekkoon ci sport xam ne ñun dañ sport lañ foog ne war naa am lu bëree lu mu mun a wécci si dëkk boobu noonu lan lañu Essa Mbye Faal amal bés bu nekkee président dëkk boobu ci sport ñun mag ñi ak xale yi ànd pour defar sport yi dëkk boobu wasalaam loolu mooy suma laajte bi
jërëjëf laajte nga question bu am solo gis nga Gambians especially Gambian youths sports mooy seen getaway stress gi nekk Gambia yëpp soo gisee lead to catastrophic situations sports moo tax fépp foo dem léegi xale yi they eat breathe and drink football especially so bon loolu luñ ko war a fulal la waaye Gambia amut benn suitable football field ba ca tane sax biir kaama la nekk bu nekk Banjul dafa daw yaram ñu ne ñu ngi koo liggéey Independence Stadium is not yet fit to host international football play field si nekk Gambia yëpp ida suufi kese la o ay baling la soo buggee nekk a professional footballer balaa ngaa mag di nga am ankle mbaa nga am knee mbaa nga am hip o nga am groin yëpp lu ko waral mooy grounds yu bon waaye ñun gis nañ sports lim mun a def sports especially football mooy loo xam ne mun naa just kenn si successful rek mun naa lift a whole family or even communities gis nañ Sadio Mané gis nañ Yankuba Minte so it is important pour Gambia invest to sports but for the well-being of the Gambian youths dañ war a invest ci sport bi for the sanity of Gambian youths dañ war a invest ci sports bi but also for opportunities it's not just sports it's not just football but the well-being of the Gambian youth bàyyi nga xel ñun suñ footballers yi dañ dee super skillful but duñ dee am the strength or the physical build a lot of the time to become professional footballers just imagine Jato Cissé su nekkoon nit ko punkal what kind of a footballer he would be amazing Setal Ibu Sila Ponkalon, he would be amazing. But Gambia, swing diet, swing everything, they restrict or constrict nitki growth. So they want to invest not just in the sports, but also in the sportmen. Motax gis nga school feeding programs ñu am solo ci ñi nga xam ne mënu ñoo am balance diet. xam nga suñ players yi ñuy suñ professional school si yëpp seen players yi seen athletes yi seen sportsmen si dañ leen war di amal special diet but we cannot if we do not invest in them region bu nekk in Gambia war naa am at least 2 suitable football fields waaye boo ci dem amuñ dara and xaalis bi ñëw in Gambia ci football rek is unbelievable xam nga liy problème bi mooy luubal xam nga am na ku musa génn ay Africa TV explain xaalis bi naka lañ ko dee sàccee ñun kera bu ñëwee into power bu ñu yàlla dimbale we will make sure ne xaalis bi ñëw in Gambia for sports is well policed by the government xam nga FIFA dañ dee wax ne they don't mix with politics waaye ñun we would monitor ensure ne xaalis bi dugga ci football bi dugga na in the right place. Government put in place arrangements yoo xam ne GFA dinañ leen audit su ko defee xaalis bi dem ci football bi. Gis nga one lucrative job in Gambia mooy nga bokk GFA. ña faa liggéey xam nañ li ma wax lan la ak kerak ki génnoon dem ay Africa TV li ma wax xam na lan la. Corruption at the highest level mu nga foofa. Lu war a dem ci sport bi dem to private pockets loolu yépp daf dee am. But all that aside, government dafa war a take up its responsibility. Yow soo mënee defar ñax sa kër mu rafet ba mel ni lal waaye wat at least dëkk bi war naa mën a defar football field boo xam ne rafetee na loolu ñax rek la di. So ñun wax naa la ñun kera bu ñu yàlla dénkee nguur gi we would invest massively in football. We would invest in sports. We would make sure that the Gambian youths have a diversion and a distraction from crime, from drug, from alcohol. I gis nga drug bi li moo def Gambia léegi. It's terrible. Sports can be a diversion for Gambian kids. Sports is an investment. Sports, it's money. Look at Gina Bass. And we can produce many more Gina Basses. We can produce many more Jato Sises. We can produce many more Ibusilas. We can produce many more Yankuba Mintes. We can produce more Biribiris. But we have to make the right investment. Sports should not be neglected. Sports should not be reduced to nawetaan rek nga am benn jaasi dem ci benn gox jox leen ko pour ñu sànnil la karta. Our sports is more important than that. Sports should be part of our DNA and it should be treated accordingly. I hope I have answered your question. Jërëjëf. Next. Waaye bugga naa nag by 7:10 GMT mobile because that would have been 3 hours and 10. So I have other things they come up that I have to go and take up.
Assalamu alaikum.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you. A quick one, Sajo.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Mr. President.
Yes, Sajo.
I need you yana election bu ñëw ni nga win ko ci win bu set.
Allahumma amin.
Waaw ma am benn question rek la amoon pour xale yi.
Wow.
Because last time my won Gambia 3 weeks la jóge Gambia waaye dafa dina nekk di yokkee comme jigéen ñu dee jël seen xale yi ñoo xam ne la ñuy under 12 ñuy bàyyi gaay si yoon yi di nekk ay tropics ay traffic light Westfield di ñaan daay comme dendee toog soo génne ak sa moto ñu yónni xale ñu dem di ñaan xale yoo xam ne ñu war a dem school yaa ngi gis ñuy téye xale yu ndaw di use gaay soo dama xam la comme yow soo ñëwee into power ndax di nga am looy noo koy condamné pour gaa ñu stop loo noonu because gaay war ñoo use xale yi pour di ñaan sarax ak yoon te dara jotut gaay seen yaay seen parents yi je xale di use guy for nothing you know xam.
Thank you.
Li problem be my brother moy we are subjecting a lot of our people of poverty. Bu fekkee ki nga wax noonu popam mu ngi liggéey as a cleaner we offer $2,000 te mu ngi am ay doom. Of course, Fumja, dina am lum def. Motax manela this is a rubber country. It's a rubber economy. So people are subjected to those indignities. Ida nga ñaan, mba nga cagatu, mba nga sacha, mba nga tapale, mba nga lep. Parce que fo jaar nga lep. So, Gambians, we are very, very proud people. Rarely one that gives Gambian. Rarely one that gives Gambian each other. Rarely one that gives Gambian each other. Rarely one that gives Gambian. Why filmmaker? All those things happen. Look overall more the poverty. The cost of living is high. Salaries are stagnant. Salaries are grossly inadequate. People among alternatives. Lolo tax ñuy def ya ñoo def noonu. So indee a law pour stop ko sax dangaa sonal sa bopp. Suñ jaar dinañ ko def. So liñ war a def mooy to see how to reduce the impact on people. So we should have, what is the social welfare department doing? So we should find ways in which very poor families would be helped. But the best solution would be to create opportunities for people who are poor to have access to finance. And not why ñëpp duñ mën a am access to finance simply because most money is not for free. So amul collateral ak yooyu is a problem. Di nga gis ne Gambia sax a lot of the people who are downright poor could have been okay if only what they own could be monetized. Just that most of the land in the provinces are with much value, simply because you cannot mortgage it. Most lands don't have title. So is in fact, Lolo Yep is dead capital, almost dead capital. So change the land tenure system. Dina tax ñenn ñi nga xam ne amuñ woon ñooñu dinañ tane parce que am nañ loo xam ne am na monetary value. But that aside, really fuñ jaar mun a am measures yu ñoo put in place pour help the poorest families. That should be in place. But the biggest thing was jobs opportunities. We have to create jobs. I'm the President Barrow digon nañu 150,000 jobs. It was all wishful dreaming. They didn't even make the effort. Go manisa produce a few thousand jobs, let alone 100,000. So 150,000. So we have to create jobs. If we don't create jobs, there will be more poverty ci dëkk bi. If we do not have livable wages, the poverty would even be further deepened. So ye mom lañ wara def in order to change the situation. Yes, otherwise, Gambian jigéen ñi dinañ nekk ay cagatu, góor yi dinañ nekk ay cagatu, because buñ foog ne cagatu gi yëpp em na ci góor o jigéen déedéet. It's rare nag pour nga gis Gambian buy def yooyu, but fi mu nekk am na a few yoo xam ne ñu ngi koo def. So it's no longer the case ne say ñi cagatu say around Senegambia area foreigners like. No. There are a lot. There are some who are Gambians. So while Lilen Chidugal, a lot of the time, times are very hard for people. They can be meeting at it. They can be meeting at all. So you get bitim real no Gambia sax they can be daf de meeting. Let alone nga dekafa. Let alone nga dekafa te amulo ko la dimbale. It becomes very hard. Trust me. Thank you so much. Next question.
Okay, Mr. President, come on, time but it 5 more questions you want to wrap up. So, come on, I can go get
No, open up 5 more. That's the time, Tuti. Na answer the gata Tuti, like mom, pull guy, muna am chance.
Okay, all right.
Bambas, no.
I thought he said he's leaving in the next 15 minutes.
Yes.
Let me answer.
Well, you allow five you make it.
Okay, thank you.
let's avoid the commentary in the questions. You just ask.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Bambas, you're here. One question. Thank you. Bambas, you have 3 seconds. Going.
Bambas nekkuloo fi time bi dem na de.
Going.
Waatal amuñ time.
Going, gone.
GMG ñëwal.
GMG.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. His Excellency, the President in waiting, Essa Faal. Ye kondom bake mbe la moilal be kondona. Ibe yedo ko minke Gambia mulnya aja, yedo ko minke diaspora mulnya aja. Are Essa kukiri nente jakal Gambia di wala koro. Gambian moreover Gambians in diaspora. Kuja makala Gambian ulka in diaspora minke koko sayalti Gambian ulka fa diaspora. At the end of the day, nothing come out of it, no investigations. At the end of the day, what Gambia do will minika fa diaspora for ke bade jang. Ndola government will buka fen kala muta woto. Esa wako be nyadi la Gambia di because yalo na hadama di baluta dawo datu dunia kono saya ke tarajel. Moreover, itela government ona nata dan Gambia di minika ko kamantoro soto diaspora. Kol minika ko saya di kol minika ko jata kende amankita ika mental health soto. Itela mansa kunda be mumtara bulle tala kaje ko Gambia di keta nyaonya hadi fata diaspora. To repatriate their dead body to the loved ones in the Gambia. Oh, more million ne question na kura also. Kaje ko ibe monitoring for the atodu molonda diaspora mini bajala ko nila Gambia di wol sasa ta bankol kan minketa mental health ke mako nyaawo nyaale ke samano Gambia ila family de ni la family de etc. nyoka. Ko mun tala ku modi because sadia mo siata bagente moreover every month or every month people call me here. I'm not an embassy, Mantara local embassy, but more can command the Gambia do fata in Blackari to fire Aliakala Mutareba. Coming for a call, I don't know. And no moreover, even
GMG, time is going. GMG, time is going. Short question, right? You know?
Yeah, it's a question. It's not like statements or deliberation. Kunyorek ask question and then you go. Essa has a lot to do. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I come in?
Hold on 1 second. Do not open your mics unless your name is called, please. Thank you. Honorable, go ahead. Thank you.
My brother Ibarka, nyimu important question lady. Yaje. Andung kontanta pananko yela question of Mandinka Kangaru. So the Mandinka brothers fana. Sen la moy ni man sakunda soto mi alongo ame muta ame bunya ame horma ni fata bantala a interest je ni nyamata banta ala interest je inte day najero mu nyinneti Gambia government among Gambian la diaspora horma. Kola tinna. Altol alla importance mu nyinneti. Karifaye na aliye kodoki abanta. Ni fenketa Gambian la bantala. Ila hajo tije. Inte fan media mo kan sanyi. Nganna family member soto bantala aye problem soto bari Gambia government iya foko I hajiti je so nyanta ñin fanin mba falin na ñaadi December 2026 al adama barola bansa kunda jindi duma nal lafita president wala miya lonko abe Gambia mutala abe Gambia nol topatola alsel la kartu di Essa Mbye Faal nga election o win nga Gambia faleng nga doku kendo ke Gambia nolye ni allié man sakunda dinna ala lonko Gambian diaspora mba mutala kuke ika foko 8 region imal tol muta fenti nalien man sakunda dinna be Gambia falin na bake altol fang from first day alba lon nako Gambian diaspora sani ya mutale kun kendeke katu mbe services min natila pour kal benefit abes alia lonko katu ngaje kom ngam fangoje nyaadi katu nte fana nga time spend diaspora so nga long Gambians so ika problems min soto diaspora so ni alie bansakunda dinna bi rest assured ko service jama benala kuwol be falinna Minister of Foreign Affairs be kela really Minister of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs so bari mimbe jang well yalong ni na mansakunda kal tol neng kal fal yoko al tol ganar bungo fang sise bungol fang alma soto no Gambia wo mansakunda te hormala ke bunya pour que la fori wol nati ita kela bari nyimbe be falinna ni ala sonta ka tu ngalon ne ko Gambian sol be mimbe diaspora inyanta consular service soto la an consular service mu nyinneti ni ye problème o soto inyante kilila ni Gambian fata je bantala inyanta kilila ni Gambian ye problème o soto ni wala inyanta kilila wolem respond the reasons for consular service and consular service inyanta soto la dawo da Gambian sol benyami previously British government le ka kenung pour Gambia ni ye passport o jube ika fensa feje ka foko ni problem soto da is a British High Commission contact muna sa bu mu ñineti nga relationship la soto no pour Gambian so ni be bantala ye problem soto ise tano British High Commission also but that relationship ma miracle ya maintain le fasani bari Gambia le nyanta mol soto la especially along consular mimbe dulalto ibuka Gambia no la kuwol topato I haji tije il sulata minna do mu status soleti ka foko nte mu consularity nga diplomatic status soto ni Sobeyaa mantakunda nata wo bebe falinna bi resta so thank you very much next question please.
Thank you, Honorable. RIK, please open your mic. One question, please. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, Mr. Faal.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say this, Sobeyaa being a young a famous political party and among the Gambians. So my question is going to be, do Sobeyaa have a team put together as experts? Because for me, I'm thinking we have an institutional failure. So do you have experts that are being set up for right now, being prepared for the future, like to get rid of these problems that we're talking about?
We are doing it gradually, but that is something that would happen during the transition period. I know that there are some Gambians with a database of Gambians in high profile, with high profiles and different qualifications. Why? Lolo problem. So they may LinkedIn rec. Liga gis ci Gambian with high profiles do. Yeah. But what we want to do is we want to bring two systems. One is head hunting and the other is open invitation. Because Gambians in eka bitim rew yep am expertise, or even those at home with expertise, monolorena ham yep. So for a lot of these jobs, we want to invite interested persons to send us their CVs. And then we take it from there. If you limit it to a database that you have, you limit yourself. Munga sa focus ci ñoo xamne they're not interested in doing jobs. So we're looking for two types of people. Those who want to take up full-time jobs and those who can offer services virtually. You know. So, but this should not be difficult for us to get. And be rest assured that at the right time we would get them by the grace of God. At least we have the basic contours already mapped out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable. As moderators, please blend Egalat. SJ has to go. We're just gonna allow these people ask their questions. Then the show continues. We'll still be here, but we need to allow him to go after these people have asked their questions. Sadauda Keraba Jawara, can you please open up your mic? One question. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Honorable Mr. President Essa Mbye Faal. Maa ngi la jaajëfal di la rafetlu tamit di déglu sa kàddu yi ne kàddu yu rafet ka fi wax kàddu yu baax. Di amoon benn question de comme dëkk bi moo fa mel ni si kim yàlla kandoo right now di la doon laaj ne ma ne comme que Afrique daf dee xala métti especially comme ñun suñu boor fii pour benn single party rek pour mu war a génne incumbent bi daf dee métti ma ne ndax yow lan nga wax si coalition ak parti flag bearer bi ak president position bi lan nga wax si loolu.
Jërëjëf kilifa gi tur bi rëy na lool yàlla la yàlla may daraja bu rëy.
Amin moom lañ ma turee Saa Dawda suma turandoo la jërëjëf.
Masha Allah mu doon kilifa gu mag goon ci Afrique. So question bi nga laajte ñu ngi ci yëfi coalition ñu ngi ciy liggéey man li ma dee wax rek leen la ne ñun we are looking for coalition we are not looking for anointment. waaye dat li ma miin mooy ñun utuñ kuy wax ne kaay nga dimbale ñu ñun ñu jël nguur gi suñ jëlee nguur gi ñun ñu doxal suñ nguur ñun we are not looking for that ñun ñu ngi look for ñoo xam ne dañoo ñëw bokk ak ñun ànd ak ñun liggéeyee ndoor a ñun luñ am ñu jël loo xam ne lii ñoo ko bokk ñun ñëpp a ko liggéey ñun loolu la ñoo ut nga xam ne dafa nekk nguur yi ñoo ko bokka la du doon nguur yi yéen a ko moom loolu mooy coalition mooy ñëw ma li ma am indi yow li nga am nga indi ñu boole waaye kaay nga dimbale ma man ma jël nguur gi loolu man xameewuma ko coalition so waaye affaire yi yëpp waxtaan la ci njekka ak taranga ak ci xormalante ak buñaawante yow suufeel nit di ko teg yéena yi man bokkuma ci loolu te duma doxuma ci loolu man maa fi jëkka door di wax ne dañ leen def coalition since after last elections laa door di ko wax ba tey maa ngi koo wax te ba tey maa ngi ciy dox di ñaan yàlla nag mu may ñu am coalition boo xam ne dina génnee Adama Barrow ba pare daxa fi lu mel ni Adama Barrow ba pare indi fi loo xam ne moom la Gambien ci bugga loo xam ne dina liggéeyal réew mi comme nguuru Sobeyaa loolu la ñuy ne I have answered your question nguur leader boobu nag niñ koo tànni ñi ci bokk rek ñoo koo tànn waaye yow soo tànnee sa boppa defuloo coalition de da nga ñëw ne def leen anointment I hope kàddu gi set na jërëjëf next question
kàddu gi leer na coalition ña ca bokk ñoo ko tànn doo tànn sa bopp balaa ngaa dugg si coalition alhamdulillah Sister Mariama ubbil sa mic bi one question thank you
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much. So Honorable, my question to you would be on the state of our prisons, specifically mine too. And then thank God at some point you've been there, you saw firsthand some of the issues. And then it was also a recommendation that stood out from the TRRC that you were a part of. And part of the civil society advocacy for very long was the issue of nutrition and sanitary issues have been highlighted. I'm glad government have made the publication that they plan to relocate the prison. But beyond the infrastructure, some issues came up, which is a lot of Gambians would languish in remand for so long over cases that could have been resolved within a very short period of time. And these sometimes are due to very avoidable reasons. And then another issue that was highlighted is the issue of nutrition and sanitary issues. Conjugal rights also were some of the issues that came up. And then how do we ensure that our people are not wasted in the prisons while waiting for cases, pending cases as they come up? If any, what are some of the plans your government has to ensure that some of these issues that we've highlighted would be prioritized as far as Gambian prison services is concerned? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mariama. This is a very intellectual question. I really enjoyed. I was grinding when you were actually.
She's one of our babies. We have 2 Mariamas that are very, very smart.
His Excellency, man bena he regla am moy indi Mariama Sobeyaa rek ma pare ci.
Phil def na de ak bàjjan day ñëw muntu des ginnaaw.
Mariama. All right, Honorable. Thank you.
But, yeah, the thing is, you must have read the TRRC recommendations about the prison, and that was my stance at the TRRC, that this prison is not fit for purpose. In fact, we'll be violating anybody's right to incarcerate any person in that prison. And I still stand by that. So prison be dañ ko wara tas. Government be accept nañ ko recommendation bo, but that is not new. 5 years ago lañ ko accept bente dara. So this government is not serious. Why fim neka konka jaay nañ land bi kañ fuñ jaar relocate prison bi. Ah boy, what a shame. But apart from the issue of the structure, like you recognize, there are fundamental problems in the prison. The first problem is with the justice structure, the justice system itself, and the second problem is the prison management. The prison is operating under a 1957 law. I think the last amendments were in 1971. This is a terrible situation. We have to modernize the prison, and together with that, it must be the modernization of the laws and the arrangements under which the prisons is operated. We'll be operating an archaic system. I'm going to corporal punishment is allowed in our prisons. Absolutely wrong. It's a violation of rights. Okay, the next thing more. Okay, what is the purpose of a prison? The prison is intended to rehabilitate people. In the prison, what you lose is your freedom of movement, but that should not affect your other rights. Huh? But Gambia, my place, Bohamne, your other rights are even affected. That is absolutely wrong. The next thing, Moine, the sanitary situation in the prisons is terrible. But Lolo Tahnibuga change the infrastructure. But also health services to the prisoners, that too is a problem. That needs to be improved. The diet in the prisons needs to be improved. Okay, I'm not small improvements, but those are just cosmetic. Really, the prisons should be given also some priority. Ñafa neka nit lañ te dañ am right. Why ñun nak the whole idea of prisons sax la nit ñi bëggut. Tax prisons dañ ko faté jox ko gannaaw. So by health, the biggest problem in our prison is the problem of overcrowding and long durations of prison terms. Look overall, Moine, the criminal justice system is not functioning effectively and efficiently. Imagine, kunjape bena box, bena joint tie, you take la for 5 years, and we feed you for 5 years, and we steal your life. So neke halebu now, 19 years old, you japala bena joint, take la prison for 5 years. My friend, yange sacha ki ndawam. For what? Just one joint of weed. So warna ñoo check suñ sentencing guidelines. Warna ñoo check out the criminal laws. Lan la ñoo wara tejé nit in prison. Gis nga dëkk yu bari. Holland, for instance, fim neka. The idea of prison neka tut lu garaaw ba nga xamne sax fim neka crime dafa come down in the Netherlands. We can take inspiration from those kinds of laws to change the situation in Gambia. But ñun ñoo dee overcrowd prisons through excessive sentencing, custodial sentences. It's not necessary. Okay? Bepare, kuñ la tëjee remand, just the wheels of the criminal justice system are so slow ba nga xam ne nit ñi dee languish in pretrial detention. loolu yëpp lu ñu war a change. But above all, prison is not a place to lose your life. Prison is a place where your movement is restricted under certain conditions. And unless and until we recognize that, prison dafa ne continue di nekk a terrible. Another thing mooy ne prison is to rehabilitate people. But the whole essence of rehabilitation dañ ko dee fàtte. Ñun prison is punitive, is retributive. So nekkee ci prison bi da nga war a suffer. Who are you after all? You are a prisoner, you are a common criminal. That is the wrong attitude. Unless that changes, affaire bi du change. But seet ko jànga. Who are the people ñu dee nem nekki prison officer? Léegi lañ door di am a few graduates. Previously, soo nekkee prison officer, sa jàng soriwut, which is a terrible situation. So we have to change the institution. We have to change the caliber of the administrators. We also have to change the whole purpose and essence of prisons. It has to be for reform. It is not just for punishment. We have to ensure the prisons is also fit for human consumption, for human habitation. It has to be fit for purpose. We have to make sure that the laws governing prison also modern laws. Think of in prison. We are continuing a very difficult place. I hope I have answered your question. Next question.
Gis nañ fi prisons like Senegal and America nga xam ne they teach them skills. Some of the prisoners come out and they have businesses, they become mentors and end up even becoming celebrated.
Yes, indeed. I agree with
Ili mun nga ñëw laaj sa question.
Jërëjëf. Good evening, Mr. Fall. Man la underwear ak t-shirt lady bi Gambia.
Fasil, huh?
Fasil, yes. Anyway, I have
from Fasil. Yeah. Hello.
Network am bi moo dem.
I'm not call. But for the meantime, Tidos mun nga laaj ko bala Fasil di ñëwaat back.
Yeah, sorry, I have a question. Let me take it at once.
Okay.
It's with regards to the debt servicing. If you get elected, which I really hope and pray that you get elected.
Well,
from what I'm hearing.
1 minute. Just 1 minute.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute, huh?
Okay.
Okay, now you can 5 minutes.
Yohana yere mo lo sa boss. Yohana yere mo lo sa boss. That's right. I'm gonna bala SG di ñew.
Wow, man am na luma waxangum tuti wala.
Yeah, one question like Phil, then man ma wacc because ma ngi wara move from 8.
No, I'm gonna hold on. Ngum ya waxal rek bala nga fo laaj question.
No, dafa amone ku binda yag na ci suuf. So bu ñewé nga laajal mako. Affaire land issue yi ñay deal ci réew mi.
Wow.
Lan mo ci nek position. Amna ku ko don laaj ci suuf. Mo bëgg nga jotalé ko.
Okay, I saw it earlier. Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Phil lo bëgg wax ñëwal.
Okay, ñëwal yeah. Fasil ñëwal.
Fasil ñëwal.
Yeah, I have a question with regards to Sing Bori. If you will be inheriting a government or a state where Hamne is very, very, very indebted. For now, we are like in the budget for 2026. For now, is over 13 billion. Per favor, and then the interest rate, how much interest payments is almost 7 billion from the budget. So yeah. So from my question is, if APP Sobeyaa should get elected, what will your government do with regards to the debt? Is it will you be opting within your 100 days in office for a relief of this huge debt that the Barrow government has given us?
Yes, thank you very much. Important question. We owe 129 billion. Contrary to what they say, Barrow has taken more debt than any previous head of state. So, suñu wax yoon yeeg yépp bor la. So, bor bobu nak Gambia is really weighing Gambia down. 13 billion being paid as just interest. Sorry, paid for debt servicing, 5.6 or 5.5 billion just in debt interest. So Gambia is really drowning under debt. Baronomics dafa yomba. Moy lebal bor nga defar yoon. Tad sa xaalis bi dëkk bi daanu fay bor di la buga rey dëkk bi metti loolu moy baronomics. Obviously, we would want to change that because we don't believe it's governance by debt, by borrowing. So, Ngurgu es buneka, daf they ride a wave of goodwill to just new into power. Bulen Fatene, when Barrow's government came into office, organized on a donors conference and we managed to get pledges of $1.5 billion for the first time in Gambian history. So lolu luko waral moy the wave of goodwill. But guy tune bo xamne sax no more than $300 million for na lañ receive. Li ci des yeb receive ko simply because dañ tune. But ñun suñu yalla dimbalé ñu ñew into power, we would seek debt relief, we would seek debt forgiveness. Mun ngeen remember that program called HIPIC, heavily indebted poor countries program for debt relief. Ñun we would negotiate with our partners for debt relief, cancellation of debts, forgiveness of principals, and all that. So you bring the debt to the manageable level. Why tam? The biggest issue moy ñu wañi unnecessary borrowing. We have to do something to give the dalasi some value, because it does not make sense. Nga leb 100 million, be pare the dalasi lose value bo xamne hej na sax in real terms open 100 million. It does not make sense to me. So ñu prop the dalasi mu save ñu mo gën ñu boro lo xamne saway daf ñoo causal further problems. But also, let's see, we continue them now. So, invest in the productive sector, including agriculture, you reduce our dependence on imports from Senegal. We produce those things at home. The situation will change. I pray to God it does change. Because you know what? Our balance of trade deficit with Senegal is 192 million. Which is causing the dalasi to be on the free flow against the dollar, against the CFA. Understand? DPP Barrow taking over act now. The dalasi has lost 70% of its value. So we have to change this. Okay? Our economy is high on drugs. What drug is it? It's debt. We are borrowing and borrowing and borrowing, and we are addicted to borrowing. Suñ stop it. Affaire bi du dox de. You know, and when we talk about this debt, a lot of the time we're talking about the foreign debt. The domestic debt, nobody talks about it. Gambians, we are in a terrible situation. Baronomics is killing Gambia. All of us are poorer for it. I am sorry. But a Sobeyaa government is coming. And by the grace of God, we will correct all these terrible things. Thank you very much.
Allahumma amin, amin, ya Rabbi. Tidos, one question, please.
8 o'clock, then it will be 4 hours.
You never see platform direct. Ajibul egalat ken for now. Then
I'm the Gambian si dañ la namonte doyalun ci yow, you know. Te yow mom yaa ñu ko dee defal saa su nekk. Man dama am special people yoo xam ne ñu ngi ci kaw dama leen yàgga bugga pour ñu face la laaj la question ku ci mel ni Joe Block ak Mike Sala ñu ngi fi. Mike moom mooy loolu. Tidos ñëwal.
Tidos ñëwal.
nuyu naa leen honorable nuyu naa la nuyu bu am jom sax.
Fay naa la lu bari.
But my question, bukan ala ka sosa nang das mo mboki sosa diga konda. Na don't struggle for tabulton to ma.
No, problem
tala. Okay. So no question o momenti walam mansakunda ni mansakunda ba campaignola. Atol be ka goal min soto walam kananan ka banko do ka molma koy ka baluo sonendi ka kuja make. So ntele jero to ning wobe botala ning masakunda tata fo election o keta fa winter itol sita itol kanyina yemimbe for campaign to kanyina wala ka nyina wala ba kala especially mol mini alon ko ye wala promise o ye wala dafala promise but comme ça ke jikinde ye mol mini jikindi ikanyina wala le ke fili komale. And this is in regards to coming ka office ka government or ka government employment yele for the rest of the community. Mini along ko your qualifications also to your skills also to, and they can openly apply for the doku ke mansakunda. Because minka ke especially ministerial positions. Me along ko president of ngole ko wotombonga fonwe. For itala mansakunda, what different iba ita ba mum falindir la na fela nang memba tandila mulla ko nyinde na tanang ata jube la ko nyimbota nyimpati dole to o nyimba nyimpati dole to abari just because I qualification also to le na application or nsa hire nole and then we will be willing to work with this person. Adunga mandang just community members damala, your fellow political candidates as well. Mini along ko ite aloneko at least ila agenda aligns with them. How open are you to work with these people like cohesively? Because that is my main problem. Tanga amira ko na problem mo jama baka bondi jelo to bayrin ko mo jama ka qualification also that. But just because I am not APP Sobeyaa tenta hayala haninga apply. Party affiliation is so sentimentalized that it ain't jubilee for it application of jubilee because man can APP Sobeyaa.
All right, Tida, thank you. Someone SG, thank you.
One more question, Kumbaya Tabake, to be quite candid. Bari yalong Adam Baro ya foye ko ni be campaign la ila vitamin na ibe wole fola. Okay? Bari ni man sekunda ta ila vitamin na ibe wole kela. So ate wole mo la publicity. Inte mbuka function wonya. Na believe ko mo ni mo liye trust soto. Ite kam. Ye jiko soto ye mim foye ko ibe wole kela. Ni ye man sakundata inyanta katala ye mim promise ye woke. Bari wolem intena character ti. Ni dolbe je mi alonko ye different character le soto. Ika mim foye ibuka woke. Well, wo mol sifa almanyan man sakunda karafem. But that said, man sakunda Presidango anyanta mol sotola miya lonko. Aningwo mol sedoku okeno. Ila values aligned, even if ila ideas man aligned. Ise no tolerate no enough purka doko ke nyokon. I think that is important. You recall Abraham Lincoln is reputed to have had a cabinet of rivals. So even those Mia Lonko ila views sometimes ikadifale ayeta do kola ala cabinet. But amanke ko molbe ye wokenol. Sometimes it's difficult. But your question is a bit easier than that. But for APP Sobeyaa na policy munyineti, we are looking for Gambia's best and brightest to help Gambia out of this conundrum. And out of the best and brightest, we would identify those Mia Lonko Aninna Mansakunda Setano. Katu ite mo natila pour ye dokuwa karafala aye sabotage. Ni ye enemita ya dundi ila Mansakunda kon. Ni aye sabotage itele ya sabo katu itele ya ta dokuwa. Bari ntol mbe Gambians le nyini la Mia Lonko ila patriotism a complete ça. Ila commitment a complete ça. Ila competence fanan complete. Nyim man sakunda jube dron mune be kerinje. It's a government of squared pegs in round holes. Ye North Lesotho. Yake Minister of Agriculture. Ye take entertainer soto. Yake Minister of Local Government and Religious Affairs. Ye accountant soto. Wele keta Minister of Finance. You have water engineer. Wele keta Minister of Tourism. You have political scientists. Wele keta Minister of Information. Miyajong Moria Miracle, Minister of Information, Willem government spokesman. Minister of Information has nothing to do with government spokesman. Okay? So what Baroye Mindinna would be educated misfits. Ye Londo Soto. Bari ila doku ima la Londo Soto ima la fahamuno Soto. So nte wo government sifa kela. In every sector, be experts le natila, be ya lonko ye wole karang ye wole fahamu ye wo doku. So be rest assured that a government by Sobeyaa would not be a tribalistic government. It would not be a regionalistic government. It will not be a government that aligns to a particular religion. It will not be a government that is based on discrimination. It would be a government. So, ngamira ko ngela question answer. Abarka.
Thank you, Honorable SG. We have more star sport, send TikTok names. Can you open your mic, please? More star sport. One question. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Mange nuyu ñu nekk ci live bi yëpp di nuyu Mr. Essa Mbye Faal. Di la wax ne yàgg nañu topp programme bi. Man dama nekk ku nga xam ne maa ngi Sweden. Ñun ci sport sector bi lañ nekk di yëngu. Dañ dee dem both national and international, especially in the Gambia. Ñu ngi fa woon in bi Gambia doon play Algeria. Maybe suma sister boobu noonu xëy na dañ xamante wut, but there's a reason lu tax ma name this platform Mostar Sport. Parce que suñ sector ñun ci sport la nekk. And dama dee topp all the political parties ñu nga xam ne ñu ngi campaign towards this coming election. Why, for my opportunity, I always raise this question up regarding our sport. Parce que man, tay Sweden manekani, deka buma munti travel, I seen a sport that they develop deka. Sport mo neka the fastest way binga hamne munna change someone's life. That when it comes to sport, Gambia sun resources tey suñ ko investir si sport dëkk bi mun naa change rapidly but soo ñëwee si sector sport suñ dëkk bi dafa dellu gannaaw mënuñu am stadium gis nañ current stadium bi nga xam ne government mu ngi ñu ko propose suma belief mooy dañ ko nekk di use as a propaganda to gain votes waaye yow as a youth yow as somebody who is living in the Netherlands yow nga xam ne yaa ngi déglu youth si yow tey if you become the president knowing how our sports suffer in the country minister bi mu ngi over 400 million ñu ngi ko spend si stadium bi mënuñu am a playing ground what do you have for our sport especially we the youths man that is my question.
Thank you very much. Most star sports. Foog naa danga later ñëw. Why question be answer naa ko. Won naa la ne wone naa fi ne there is a lot of corruption ci sport bi. Especially football. Xaalis buy ñëw ci football bi yëpp dugg ci football bi. Am na ku génnoon Eye Africa TV toj na yax yi foofu about the corruption in Gambian sports. Wone naa ne even though FIFA seen rule mooy ne football and politics duñ koy boole Gambia government would make it a principle ne all institutions that carried the public trust would be audited for breach of public trust, including GFF. Xaalis bi fa dugga toujours dañ ko bugg di audit. But above all, ñun dañ war a make investments in sports and also investments in our sportsmen and women. Like I said, we can produce more Gina bases, we can produce more biribiris, we can produce more Jatosises, more Ibusilas, and more Yankoba Mintes. If we do the right investments. Senegal def nañ ko fi, and they are succeeding. Ñun tam mun nañ ko cee def. Mooy am targeted programs yoo xam ne is to uplift our athletes, footballers, athletes, and so on. You know, starting from the schools, players ñuy invest in their diets. So by a hell Gambians they tend to be too small, especially for a lot of the sports. So invest in their diets that help. We should also invest in infrastructure. But luñ gënuta invest mooy the technical aspects of the sports. Fi mu nekk nag suñ football Gambia doon nañ di am coaches with badges. The more we am of those people, the more football we improve in Gambia. The more we invest in the infrastructure of sports, the more sports they improve in Gambia. The sports should not be rek ne su election di jot si rek nga organize fii nawetaan o nga organize fii fitness tournaments joxe tuuti xaalis o nga joxe jerseys. Sport bi war naa passé loolu. Sport bi require massive investment. Every region war naa am at least two good fields, both for both athletics and for football, and also for other sports. Every region war na ko am. Gambia mooy dëkk boo xam ne no matter how brilliant the player is, no matter how skillful the player is, balaa moo mag am na ankle, hip, knee, or groin. Li ko waral mooy poor facilities. All these things can change if we invest in the sport. So ñun duñ ko caaxaane. This is something we invest in. And te dañ ci war a invest in simply because it's the diversion for Gambian youths. And it's the only hope now for Gambian youth sports. So ñun suñ government dañoo invest massively in sports. I hope that that answers your question. Next. Fi mu nekk two questions ñu jeexal.
Waaw Bambas ak Joe Bok rek a des ak Mike rek ñu wrap up, you know, yàgg nga fi dëgg. Bambas,
quick shot. Open your mic, please. Thank you. Quick one.
Okay. Thank you so very much, guys. Nuyu na honorable di ko gërëm di ko sant bu baax ci opportunity bi. One small question, I think part of my question has been answered. Moi bu Mariama laajte woon. That is regards to human rights and yow sax stand for human rights fooguma loolu moom kenn mun na koo question ci dëkk boobu noonu and not ci dëkk bi rek sax waaye in the entire world ak sa respect for rule of law. Now my question is what is Sobeyaa government going to do, or at least Sobeyaa as a stakeholder in the government, what is going to be Sobeya's stand to make sure that Gambians' human rights is always been protected and always been respected, and also our civil servants? What is Sobeyaa going to do to make sure that our civil servants actually respect rule of law? Because we have seen when it comes to procurement, government procurements, most of the time what we see in the auditor's report is that the rule of law is not always been followed, and this is causing us a huge problem, and it is messing our economy. So what is going to be Sobeyaa stand in this? Thank you.
First of all, Sobeyaa is against corruption in all its forms and in all its manifestations. We are against corruption in all its forms and in all its manifestations. So Sobeyaa didn't do everything to tackle and fight corruption. But the fish rots from the head. So man kerabuma yala tege ci bopi nguur gi, I would be a champion against corruption and not a champion for corruption. Parce que so nekkee njiit nga ne nit ñi corruption kenn mënu ko fee génne yaa ngi wax ne mënuma ci dara. It becomes a free for all. So nekkee njiit mu am ñu def corruption ñu indil la report teg nga ne report bi duma ko action yow yaa ngi encourage corruption. So nekkee njiit ñu tuumal ay nit especially sa ay nit of corruption defaloo action mu ngi mel ni yow yaa ngi reinforce corruption. Yàlla nañu ci yàlla musal ñun façon nguur googu moom la ñuy xeex nekkuñ ñoo xam ne façon nguur googu lañ bëgg a indi nguur googu dañ koy xeex. So corruption ñun we are going to bring it down significantly, and we want to make Gambia an example. The corruption can be fought and corruption can be defeated. With regards to civil servants, xam nga training, education, and sensitization can change a lot of things ci nit ki. Waaye tam ñun suñ civil servants, they are also victims of the system. Parce que so nekkee civil servant and we are paying you poorly, it's difficult pour ñu insist ne doo corrupt. So we have to pay our officers livable pay wages so that they would not suffer the indignities of poverty. Parce que loolu leen dee dugal ci yu nekk. I mean, it has to be through training. It has to be through orientation. It has to be through discipline. It has to be through giving jobs to the right people. Suñ defee loolu rek suñ civil service bi dina change. Rule of law nag pour def ko ci dëkk yomb na yombut. Suñ njiit bi jubee ñi toppa ci njiit bi jub ñi toppa ci ñooñu jub rek jub am. So but we have to start from somewhere. Those at the top should be straightforward. Those at the top should be honest. Those at the top should be law-abiding. Man, I can bring that in Gambia. It does not take rocket science to do it. No, what it takes is commitment and political will. And inshallah, in the Gambia. Thank you very much. I think ne jehal na sen question.
Thank you.
Yes, I am almost tired now.
Okay.
It's almost 4 hours. 9 minutes to 4 hours. I think in Gambia. We want to bring standards. nga xam ne suñ la joxee plan jox la resources every time you produce the same result.
Thank you.
su ko defee nga xam nga ne Gambia amut fenn fooy dem nga gis ñaari two building ñu exactly identical xanaa taf lu ko waral mooy ne dafa am standard. We want to bring back standards in this country. Gis nga lima plan bi ma laa wax nii. After 5 years, you would train a critical mass of people. Nga def institute ne ku amul certificate bi du liggéey in that profession. Foreigner si yëpp dinañ dem de. Gambien si dinañ am liggéey de. Te fay bi dina xaay de. soo wàccee machine bi is charge la soo demee ci démba loolu la soo dem ñu door di am système ci dëkkam yow ñeme ngaa téye sa moto rek di wër rek ne da ngaa liggéey as plomber kenn du la jox liggéey waaye Gambia mun nga ko so we have to change these things the only way we ko change mooy ñu change the education system dégg naa yaa ngi wax de mbaa d'accord nga
waaw no d'accord naa just si small questions yooyu noonu dafa am beneen question bi dafa am nit ku ko raison so ma dégg nga answer ko about prison system bi bu dalal na suma xel te educational system bi nii tamit ni nga ko answer dalal na suma xel waaye comme lu ma wax rek comme dinaa leen toppaat seen beneen programme sa next programme cause maa ngi amaat 2 questions yi nga xam ne bëggoon naa nga leeral ma ko
nañ ko wax léegi su fekkee ne answer nañ ko satisfactory di nga ñëw Sobeyaa ask your question
no hanga man suma ñëw Sobeyaa comme man nekkuma ki nga xam ne damay xaajaga seen man suma duggee si dara foog àdduna bi yëpp yëg ne si lii laa dugga man du may nduba suma buga
waaw welcome laajteel sa question fi mu nekk toog naa siisu naa laajteel sa questions yëpp suma leen
thank you very much I'm proud ne am na opportunity bii nii second question bi dafa nekk li nga xam ne ni comme man dama believe into the unification of Africa so dama xamul ndax yow sa government am ngeen any kind of like maybe a second thought on that
Our second thought on that, I believe that Africa is stronger if Africa is united. But we can start from our sub-region. Gambia and Senegal warna am stronger relationship. Benga hamne bagas waruta joge Gambia di chang ci border bi Senegal. Bagas waruta joge Senegal di chang ci border bi Gambia. Gambian waruta ñew Senegal ñu di la hasul, Senegalese waruta ñew Gambia ñu di la hasul. Ñun we are one and the same people. Warna ñoo gëna mëna benno. So and that is the beginning of unification of Africa. Bala ñoo Africa yépp di unite. We have to be united in our little cocoons. Unless that happens, then Africa do unite.
Thank you. I mean, no, boobu d'accord naa si boobu daf ma soxaloon 100%. Man kuy topp sama platform dina xam ne loolu moom daf ma soxal 100%.
Now go on next question.
Wow, the third question bi moo nekk yéen soo leen ñëwee into office the first 2 years bi ngeen a nekk in office yéen plans ngeen am pour mun a generate funds pour mun a like mun a fulfill seen promise yi nii yi nga xam ne yéen a ngi ko wax nit ñi yëpp.
Okay, wow. Then go def nonu rek tak mo gëna gaaw. First thing, organize a donors conference. Every nguur bu ñëw ees rek da nga ride a wave of sympathy, a wave of goodwill. Organize a donor conference nga make sure ne xaalis biñ la pledge yëpp nga jël ko. Su baro qualify on, su baro efficient on, su baro smart on, but that 1.5 million euros bu ko EU how much dollars because EU pledge alone been jëlee over xaalis boobu ko noonu dina doon am a huge impact in Gambia but he failed miserably government ne collect nañ more than 300 million. That is a massive failure. Ñun will make sure ne we organize this, we get the money and we invest it in Gambia. 2, let's reduce the waste in Gambia. Li ñoo waste essence rek bi jeex. Moto nguur gi 90% li ñoo daw nekkut sunak farata nguur gi ñu ngi ci soxla jàmbur yi ministre yaa ngi am ñaar o ñetti moto nguur gaa koo essence nañ ko wàññi def ko benn instead of ñu jox la gaz gazula ay 12 cylinders mun ngaa am 6 cylinder vehicle Okay, all the millions in your spend on vehicles and transport, dina bah. Meet the people store. Swing all that massive expenses. You have got pure meetings instead of National Dubai Festival. Dinañ save xaalis. Linyo votal for president $150,000 a day. Lolu war nañ ko mëna wañi. Linyo lubal sàcca gi. Suñ wañé sàcca gi. Ni kon nguur gi dinañ am xaalis. The waste and the theft, the waste and the leakage ci government bi moo tax the government is broke. Li wara dem ci nguur gi dafa wara dem ci nguur gi. Ba pare xam nga ne luubal gi yëpp li ci ëpp mooy yoo xam ne loi moo leen ko may. Loolu yëpp suñ ko génnee waxuma ne nguur gi du soxla xaalis de waaye it will be massively reduced.
Thank you very much. I think
no wala benen.
Wow, benen bi amna ken ma kuko reason fi cause ya dama don
laaj ma tontu ko be pare. Laaj ma kan rees.
Wa luma la buga laaj mo nek so gisé comme su justice system bi right now. Da nga gis ne amna ñi nga xamne amna cases yo xamne ni ñu ko am right now ñi nga xamne ni like dañ leen deja ay tay.
Mo gën ngay ma laaj justice system nak.
No
go to jail for trivial things. Society can take its pound of flesh, or society can deform you without necessarily having you incarcerated. So we have to revisit the purpose of prison. The purpose of prison is to reform and rehabilitate, and not just retribution. So we have to change those things. So Lolumom, you can trust me, we can do a very great job on that. East Timor, man na binda their prison laws nak. Wah dengar ni Allah.
Anyways, thank you very much. You know, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. You know, like I love the person you are. I love you 100%. You know, but I'm just this kind of person. Nga hamne di like yi dafa nekkoon nga hamne dafa ma soxal trop because man dama dee woon ne su ma toppa nit tamit foog ma xam nit ku ma toppa. You know, ban façon nit la yalla am. Ba pare another thing tamit bu gana ko raise right now because dama dee kind of feel like ne I like you so much, but I kind of think like ne tamit dang dee mer sometimes like. What causes that? Why is that sometimes like you when you talk you kind of show anger?
My brother. Como sita feka muy he. Ko dega muy he. Ene daf de mer. Yo fu na ya bu ga togn. Kudun mer sax ci adina amut. Why deglul lena. Mo wax la lena. Kuma gëna jovial amut. Kuma gëna neex deret amut. Waaye dafa am lu mu jël duma jël kuma fenal duma jël kuma jaay yabaate duma jël kuma jaay yarade ko duma jël kuma disrespect loolu duma fay ega ken ba tax man bi ma nekk xaleel sax laajal ñi ma dee àndal awuma koo xam ne moom lay moogantel ngir suma am fula ak suma am ok man nag soo ñëwee fenal ma am naa laal ci mer waaye yooyu dama just solve problem bi rek move on xam nga lu ma dee mer loo tiki mooy when I see the suffering of the Gambian people ma xam ne this suffering is unnecessary ne lii nit moo leen ko teg ngir nit luubal na xaalis boo xam ne moo waroon a dem ci ñoom solve seen problème am naa right pour mer ci loolu am naa right pour mer gis ne jigéen ñaa ngee dem marché di wóor dépasse bu munuñ koo am naa right pour mer ne yenn kër yi dañoo toog chicken leg si nga xam ne expire nañ sànni nañ ko ci gabet gi moom la gaay na toog amut luñ laa fenal pour yàqal la xam nga ku àndata yow sopootu la du wax lu baax ci yow ok looloo tax ñuy wax loolu waaye my brother man toog naa TRRC question over 100 minutes ñeneen ñi am na liñ ma wax kuñ ko waxoon ci yéen ngeen jóg mbéj ko.
Yeah, that's true.
So ñu ne man dama dee mer man nit taal na ñoom saaga suma yaay ki nga xam ne moo tax ma am lépp ci àddina mu saaga ko on social media àddina bi yëpp di ko gis maa ngi toog rek jàppa suma ñaambur kuñ ko defoon ci yéen mu rey kooka ba pare ngeen ne man dama dee mer fooguloo ne dañ bëgg a yaaxa suma der rek
Joe léegi leer na
no leer na
so man soo leen ma dénkee nguur gi nit luumal seen xaalis waruma mer
na boobu am nga right pour mer boobu da nga war a mer
bon nag bàyyi leen ma waay maay tànn yoo xam ne dinaa ko
Joe, thank you. We have other invitees from the APP. Yeah. So you can follow this account. Then eventually,
comfort. You've had the questions, you've had the challenges, and you've had clear answers. What matters now is not noise, but direction. Our strategy for the Gambia is simple, realistic, and achievable, which is restore the rule of law, rebuild strong institutions, and put the economy to work for ordinary people, ordinary Gambians. No shortcuts, no empty slogans. We secure our nation by making justice independent, by creating real jobs through agriculture, fisheries, and small businesses, and by investing in education and skills so our youth can build a future here at home in the Gambia, not risk their lives elsewhere. This is not about personalities. It is about systems that work, leadership that tells the truth, and a country that plans beyond the next election. APP Sobeyaa offers a disciplined, coherent, consistent path forward, one that unites Gambians, protects our democracy, and delivers results you can measure in your daily lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, TikTokers, fellow Gambians, if you are ready for serious leadership, accountable governance, and a Gambia that finally works for all, then stand with APP Sobeyaa. The future is not promised, it is built. And together, we can build it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.